Hello folks, I'm back again to discuss my weekly painting progress. Yes, it has been an active week for me. I'm back from vacation. I'm sorry it's been a little while since I made one of these videos. I did go on vacation on the 4th of July to Sarasota, Florida, and I decided not to bring any paints with me. I did bring a few games and played some games and had fun and flew my drone around, and that was great, but ultimately I decided not to bring anything down to paint. So if you've been following along, I've been painting The Witcher. I got the big box set from crowdfunding. I believe that was the Kickstarter one. And yeah, so I am almost done with this, and I say almost, and in fact I held off making this video. I could have shot one, like a small one last week, but I held off shooting this because I wanted to finish this box set, and I thought I had. Turns out there was one miniature that I didn't get to. Indeed, my first introduction to this board game was from that artwork that features this particular monster. So I think what I'm going to do, since I forgot to do him, I'm just going to paint him last. So busting this open and kind of taking a look at this particular one and what I worked on, I had a few that kind of stood out to me. I really enjoyed painting the Cyclops a lot, although I messed up his skin, so I kind of had to redo the skin on that one quite a few times to get it just the way I liked it. But in the end, I thought he looked pretty cool and he's pretty menacing, so I was pretty happy with him. The other one I kind of had a problem with was this bug thing. And I'm not sure if I just found the wrong artwork or what, but he doesn't seem to look much like the artwork. And I even went online and sort of looked up, and for a lot of these I would go and I'd find fan art and stuff from the video game and stuff like that to kind of reference. In that one I just kind of guessed and got it done. And that's kind of another little thing to tell you about, painting an entire board game like this. You're going to get a lot of miniatures, and some of them you'll enjoy painting, and other ones you'll be like, that's not that cool a monster. It's the perfect opportunity to take your own take on what they should look like or what you think that they ought to look like and stuff. There was another one that really didn't seem to match what I'd seen before, and that was like sort of a centipede looking character. And I did my own take on that one. There were a lot of really interesting monsters in this one, and ones that really seemed to be monsters. You had the Pied Piper kind of guy, and I think my favorite monster in this one actually was this griffin. I think that's a griffin. Yeah. I had a good time painting that, and I like that sort of lion colors and stuff. I sort of a bunch of muted browns with and I chose to do a dark beak because the beak, the color I usually use for a beak sort of blended in with the other color schemes that I'd done, so I went with like a dark beak, and that came out a little bit better than I expected. One I really didn't like very much was I guess it's kind of a wyvern. And I'm sorry I didn't look up all the cards for these before I started talking about them. But this red and blue creature, dragon-like creature, I think it's a wyvern. I just didn't like the sculpt in general. I don't like the hunched over pose. I thought the eyes were a little were not very good. But I've seen other people do amazing work with that. Like, there's some painters that can really just take anything and make it beautiful. And I don't want to. I'm not trying to knock the miniature as a whole or the project as overall. If you go to Go On Board's Instagram, there's this dude that paints these things, and I'm amazed at how amazing they are. Like I almost just stopped painting because they're really, really good. But that being said, I didn't see an entire set there, and I'm almost done. The last thing I worked on was another one that was kind of a favorite of mine, and that's the Brewstress. She's the one with like I can't tell if that's supposed to be a mallet or a wicker basket on the end of her face. So I made it a little ambiguous, but they kind of look the same if you think about it. My wicker face, my wicker face. We had another big, huge model in the giant here, and he looks like a giant that's like he's waving an anchor around, and he's got some rigging all tied up around him. I was tempted to. I didn't look up the artwork for this one at all. I just kind of went with my gut and decided what I wanted to do. He's got like planks strapped around his legs and stuff like that, and I decided to make him a ginger. I'm not sure why. I feel like gingers are a little underrepresented lately. And I decided to make him a big angry ginger. So he's my big huge angry ginger man. The last thing I got is this mermaid. This mermaid was pretty cool, but I didn't really like the face on it. I thought the face was kind of crazy. I do like this kind of blue color scheme that I've come up with, and I think between this and Dagon and the way he came out, I'm thinking I want to go back and redo my deep ones from Cthulhu Death May Die, because I really hated the way they came out. I wish they'd come out more like these things. And that's it. Overall, it's been a really productive week. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to moving on to the next box. I've got just this. This is all I've got left. This and this guy. And then I'm done with The Witcher. And thank God, because I'm getting really tired of it. Something funny that happens to me a lot of times when I paint these big box sets is I just get sick of it by the end. And I get to the point where I don't even want to look at the game anymore. And that's kind of a weird thing to happen. Like, right when it gets done, when it would be the most perfect way to play it, you're like, eh. And you want to put it all away. And then you pull it out again in a few months and you're like, oh, wow, yeah, I forgot all about that because I've already moved on to the next thing. But I think what I'm going to do is, after all this is done, Owen and I will do a playthrough. And I'll just shoot a lot of B-roll because I can. And have a good time with it. And then put it away and not look at it for a while. Owen recently got me addicted to Dice Throne. Dice Throne is a game that I've kind of avoided because I play so much Unmatched. I was like, oh, I've already kind of invested in that. But I got this box set. And it's awesome. So look for some Dice Throne content later on because I've found it to be quite cool. And folks, thanks for joining me. Probably the next project after The Witcher is going to be Lords of Ragnarok. I've just received that. And I'm going to try sort of a wash technique. I'm going to make my own sun drop. It's going to be the hook for that. So I'm going to paint the heroes and the monsters kind of like I usually do, but those rank and file troops, I'm going to give them my own version of a sun drop treatment. But all that's coming up. Until next time, enjoy your games, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.